Hello, thank you so much for watching. I have such a treat with me today. It is the new Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, just called Palette Volume 2. I adore the first Jaclyn Hill palette that she did with Morphe. It is just everything I want in an eyeshadow palette. If I could have put one together myself, it would look very, very similar to that palette. I would get it out and show you, but it's very, very beat up. Yeah, I've literally loved that palette to death and I'm ready for a new one, I think. I'm sure you've all seen it before anyway. But this palette is also just stunning. I feel like it's got more brights, but it does also have a really nice selection of neutral colours too. So I'm wearing the palette now. I'm going to demonstrate it in a minute. I went for these kind of neutrals with a couple of the dark shades thrown in as well. But I'm really excited to do a look with the brights too. It just so happens that this just suits the colours that I'm wearing today, and I didn't want to do anything kind of too bright or too smoky, although I'm dying to do a dark red smoky eye with these colours just here. I'm so excited to do that. Maybe I'll film another video. You will discover in a second when I apply the shadows that it was a little bit of a mixed bag, but I'll let you see my first impressions on that. I know as well there's been so much controversy around Jaclyn over the years. I've been watching her videos for years and years and years, like for a really long time, and I will always continue to watch her videos because the woman just has amazing taste in makeup. Anything she's recommended, I've always absolutely loved. And she's got some real skill as well. Like, you can tell that she used to be a working makeup artist. So she really knows her products. I think she really knows, you know, how to get the most from the products that she uses as well, if that makes sense. So I will always enjoy her videos. She has quite a checkered history with releasing products. I won't go into it because I don't like all the negativity and, you know, there's no point. Like I said, I adored her first Morphe palette. I also bought the Vault collection, and I saw some really bad reviews of that, but mine were perfect, and I really like them. For me as a makeup artist, which is what I do full-time, I'm a makeup artist, they're really useful. If I know that one of my clients that day wants greens, I can just pull, you know, the palette with the greens, or if someone wants purples, right there, I can just pull that one and off I go to work. So yeah, I loved the Vault collection. I have a couple of the brushes that she released with Morphe as well, and those are fantastic. Really pleased with those. So as far as her collabs with Morphe are concerned, I've always been absolutely thrilled. Will this one measure up? You're gonna have to bear with me and find out. See my first impressions in just a sec. At first glance, it is stunning. It's so pretty, and I know how many people love warm tones. You know, it's just like an absolute dream if you love to do warm toned eyes. So it is still kind of exciting, you know, no matter what you think about Jaclyn and her collabs, this is a beautiful palette. So let's get stuck into some makeup. I will give you my first impressions as I use the palette. So to start off with, I've tried to pull out as many Morphe products from my makeup collection as possible. Only seems fair because I'm using a Morphe palette. So I'm starting off with the Morphe eyelid primer, which is one that I really like. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of that over. It is slightly tinted, so it does have some coverage, but it's not like as much coverage as using a concealer across my eyelids. I do feel like this is very mattifying as well, which I need, because I do get a lot of creasing around my eyes, and also because my eyes are a bit hooded, I do tend to get a lot of transfer as well. So I find that by mattifying my eyelid with a primer or with some powder or whatever, it does really help. Moving on to the main event, the palette. I am absolutely desperate to do like a dark red kind of smoky eye with these colours. I think that would look so good. I'm so excited, and I really want to do like a bright sunset look with these. But I'm actually going to do a look that's kind of like rosy toned bronze neutrals, just because it's going to go with what I'm wearing today. but also I think that like for most people those would be your everyday colours. So if you were buying this palette just to use yourself at home, I feel like this kind of area would get the most use, and then these would be more for like when you're going out maybe. So yeah, let's give them a go. And I feel like if a palette has got good wearable neutrals with a few other kind of fun colours and metallics and shimmers thrown in, you will get a lot of wear out of it, because you'll use the neutrals a lot and then you'll use the other colours, the brights and things like that, a bit less often, but it will encourage you to experiment with your makeup a bit more. I'm gonna start with some neutrals, and then I may actually do another tutorial because I feel so excited about doing like a dark red smoky eye. I just think that would be so much fun. I'm gonna start off with this shade here. It's called I'm In It, and I'm gonna pop that just underneath my brows to highlight my brows, and then I think on my inner corners as well, and I might come back to this once my makeup's done, just to intensify the highlight a little bit. And so far so good. This looks nice. It's subtle, but you know, it does the job. So I think I want to do kind of like a lighter eyeshadow on top, and then I really want to smoke out the underneath of my eyes because I could use the dark reds for that. So I could do something like a little bit smoky underneath my eyes. So I think I want to do a lighter shadow on top, and then I really want to smoke out the underneath of my eyes. Just with my eye shape, this tends to really work, and also I want to try out some of those deep reds underneath my eye. So I'm going to start off with this shade. It's called Love Handles, which I think is so cute, and put that through the crease of my eyes. So just like right where my crease is, and then again, because I've got slightly hooded eyes, I'm going to blend that up fairly far. I love it already, it's so pretty. There's no mirror in this palette, which I don't mind, but I'm going to swap to using just a little one. I don't know how well you can see, but that has applied really nicely. It's blended out beautifully, and I love the colour. That peachy brown shade is just so flattering, especially for my skin tone, and with my eye colour. It makes my eyes look really bright and really blue. They're kind of a bluey green, but this kind of shade really accentuates that. I would normally go in and kind of build up the crease and the outer corners of my eyes, but I can't decide how smoky I want to make this. I don't think I want to make it very smoky. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply one of the shimmer shades across my lid, I think, and then I'll go from there. I normally would apply kind of all the crease and outer corner colours first, and then go in and apply anything with shimmer or glitter, but I just can't decide. So I want to see how it looks with a metallic shade added, and then try and make up my mind. And the shade that's calling to me now is this one here. How pretty is that? It's called Ride or Diamonds. And I'm going to use this just with my fingers, just to really pick up a lot of that metallic pigment. A lot of the time shimmers and glitters just work better applied with your finger rather than a brush. I mean, I'm not going to lie, that is not as pigmented as I thought it would be. I don't know how well you can see, but that is very subtle. I might top that up with something else. Yep, that shade is a little bit disappointing. I thought that was going to be brighter. So let's try another one over the top. Let's try Drama Queen. So it's very similar. So there's the shade I just applied, and this one is just a bit more pinky and it looks slightly stronger. So let's give that one a go. It does look a lot stronger actually. That's much more like it. You can see that's got so much more metallic, metallicness to it. That is much more what I wanted. That shade is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I am going to add in a slightly darker colour on the outer corners. Well, I say slightly, I'm going to go in with this right here. It's called Next, and it's a beautiful aubergine type of colour. I just can't help myself, it's so pretty. So I'm just not going to use an awful lot. I'm going to go in right on the outside corner. You can see how much pigment's in that. That is beautiful. And I'm just gonna add a bit of definition. I'm not necessarily going to make these into big smoky eyes. Famous last words. So I've just blended that out a little bit. I haven't taken it in very far. I've blended it kind of more out towards my temples in kind of a cat eye shape. I absolutely love that. It's so vibrant, so pretty. I thought I was going to use that under my eyes, but I actually want to use a darker shade. So I'm going to take this little kind of pencil brush. It's a Makeup Geek one. And I'm going to go in under my eyes with this shade, which is called Crazy. I mean, I barely touched my brush into that shadow. That's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to take this down quite far underneath my eyes. Because I do want to have like a nice smoky lower lash line. I now want to throw some eyeliner into the mix. So I'm going to use this Morphe gel liner. The shade's Coffee, and it's one of my favourite ever products from Morphe. It's a very, very dark, cool toned brown. It almost looks black. And I always like to have something in my waterline. I don't know why, it just suits my eye shape perfectly, which makes no sense because my eyes aren't the biggest. They are quite hooded, but I just feel like I need something in my waterline, and I love a dark brown for that. I don't always want a black, but I do like quite a lot of definition under my eyes as well. So I'm going to pop this in my waterline and smudge it out. I won't film this because I have to really concentrate, and I will be making some interesting faces, but I'll come back. So all I've done is use a small angled brush. This is a Glossy Box one, but any little angled brush would do. And I've just smudged that out and just smudged it into a winged shape here. I've added just the tiniest bit in my top waterline as well. I've tight lined my eyes. And I'm just gonna, I don't want like a crisp winged liner on the top, but I'm just gonna kind of fill in this outside corner here, and just add a bit more definition just on the outer corners of my eye, and just kind of fill in just that outer third of my top lid, and then take it down to meet the wing at the bottom. I'm sure I'm making some interesting faces right now as well. So just a little definition on the top lid with the eyeliner. I'm gonna add some mascara and some lashes, and then I will come back. Lashes are on, mascara's on. Time to complete this look with a lip. I want to do a cool toned nude, so I'm going to start with the Morphe Sweet Tea lip liner. It's one of my favourites. I've seen a lot of people talking about this online as well. It seems to be like a real fan favourite from Morphe. It does come up quite dark on me, but because the tone is still quite natural, I think I can just about get away with it with the right lipstick. Other lip products I used are Jeffree Star, but I did get them from Morphe. The liquid lipstick is Mannequin, which is one of my favourite Jeffree Star colours. It's so good. Mine ran out and I went to order another one and saw that it was included in this set with a load of other minis. So I bought this. Well, I mean, this might not last me long because I wear Mannequin all the time, but it's really fun to try the other colours as well, so I was quite happy with that. This was in the same set. It's something I've not seen before from either brand. It's a lip topper. It's called Slurp, and it's this kind of white gold colour, which is totally up my street. Really love it over a liquid lip, so I was very pleased with that. That is my finished look with the Jaclyn Hill palette. In summary, I am really pleased with it. Absolutely love it. A couple of those metallics were a bit of a letdown. Yeah, I mean, the one that I did end up loving, I'm really pleased with, and I know that metallics are kind of difficult to formulate as well. Let's just try another one just because. So this is called Talia, and it's this real nice yellow gold. Let's give that a little go. I mean, to me, that is a bit of a letdown as well. There is not a lot of pigment in that. I mean, it would look cute for like a subtle bit of sparkle, but considering that, you know, I love a metallic eyeshadow, that's not quite good enough for me. The ones that I use the most often are the Makeup Geek ones. Annoyingly, I don't think they're stocked anywhere in the UK anymore. They used to be on Beauty Bay, but their metallics are incredible. I have like a big eyeshadow palette. It's like the eyeshadow palette of dreams that I've made for my professional kit, and that's got a load of Makeup Geek shadows in, and the metallics are amazing. They're almost creamy. They're so good. So for me, the metallics really let that palette down. The brights look amazing. All the matte colours have so much pigment, so easy to blend, so easy to work with. So for that reason, I would still recommend the palette. Excuse my son just there. Hello. You being a good boy? Yeah. So sweet. Oh, this cat is just so gorgeous. He was supposed to be a little show kitty, but yeah, unfortunately found himself in a bit of a bad situation. He was neglected. Actually, all of my cats were. But yeah, doing great now. He is a big boy. Where were we? Back to the palette. I would still recommend it because I feel like for the price, it's still pretty good. It's under £40. There's always a discount code for Morphe, which keeps it under 40 quid. And I think I will still get a lot of use out of this. I'll just use metallics, shimmers, highlights from other palettes. But for me, I think there's enough really good colours in there to make it worthwhile. Do I love it as much as the original palette? No. The Vault collection, again, I really liked. I think it's kind of on a par with that in terms of quality for me. But that first palette was just so good. Could anything have lived up to that? That first palette was so good. Could anything have lived up to that? Probably not. If the metallics in here were good, then this would be on par with that first palette for me, because I just love all the colours so much. I love the pinks, I love the purples, I love the kind of rosy toned brown colours. So yeah, it kind of missed the mark, but I would still recommend it. Also, not everybody wants a really bright shimmer eyeshadow. So if you like more of just a subtle sparkle or a bit of a wash of colour and glitter in your eyeshadows, then you would not be disappointed. But for me and my preference, not so much. So thank you so much for watching. I am absolutely loving doing reviews at the moment, so if there's anything else you want me to review, let me know and I will get on it. Also, if you've done a review of this palette, link me to it. Because it only just came out yesterday, I haven't watched one review yet. And I still haven't watched Jaclyn's reveal video where she talks about the palette, again because I knew I would get this and I knew I would want to review it. So I'm going to watch that now. Nothing has swayed my opinion on this. I've only seen pictures. I've not seen anyone swatch the palette, use it. So yeah, I'm going to go and watch some reviews now, and if you've done a review of this, or if you just want to tell me what you think, let me know. I would love to hear, and I will catch up with you soon. Bye!